I want to do a quick review of the Milton HighFlo and Harbor Freight 3/8 inch airline fittings that I got today. These I got off of Amazon, 15 bucks. You get a kit with 7 pieces in it. And for 7 bucks from Harbor Freight, it comes down to like $6.50 or so once you get the 20% coupon. You get these four parts. These Miltons are basically, they're both 1/4 inch pipe thread, so they'll, if you have a 3/8 inch line, they'll screw right in, and their big claim to fame is look at that hole, look at that bore, lots of air, get rid of that pressure loss. And I mean the same thing with the Harbor Freight. Comparing the two, I mean if I take a female on each, you can see clearly that the Harbor Freight one is beefier. I mean, it's significantly larger. The automotive fitting versus I think this is called the industrial fitting type. This is where the ball bearings inside the coupler will attach, both in this little groove here. And again, they're just 1/4 inch pipe thread. The Miltons are color coded, so if you have Milton other adapters, that the purple ones are the HighFlo. So if you put this on the back of your tool, you see the purple, it's all going to fit in your purple couplers. One nice thing about these is they're press fit, one-handed operation, and that's it, it's engaged. And to try to do that with these automotive ones, yes, not going to happen. You have to actually engage the coupler and then let it go down, and then you're in. And you can see just from the couplers themselves, the Harbor Freight coupler is much beefier, a lot more metal, physically weighs more. The bore, I mean, it's the same size, but again, I mean, it just looks like you get a little bit more beef with the Harbor Freight one than with the Milton one. One thing I did notice is the Milton ones, they do have a bit of flex and play in it. I mean, it's kind of hard to do this with one hand while you're holding the phone. But this does have, there you go, you can see it moving around in there. I mean, that's not my hand doing it, that's the coupler, the fitting in the coupler. But with the automotive coupler from Harbor Freight, the thing don't move. I mean, that's more of me moving it in my hand than anything else. It's significantly less movement. And it just feels like a much more solid connection. I mean, this one here, so you can play around with it, pushing it and all that good stuff. This one here, I mean, you can't even push it in, it's just engaged. This one here, you can. And to me, that means, if it can wiggle around in there, that means it can unseat from the O-ring, and you get that pressure loss while you're moving your tool around. With this one here, it's just in. I mean, to take it out, they're both the same. Spring loaded, it shoots right out. And the inside, you can kind of see all them ball bearings. That's what actually grabs onto your fitting. And then if you look how big that is. Big honking hole in the bottom. Now with the Milton, I mean, they still have the 6 ball bearings in there. But it just, like I said, it feels lighter. I don't know if this is some sort of aluminum or what. They say it's steel, but I mean, comparing the two, I mean, the Harbor Freight one definitely has some beef on it. And again, with the couplers too, or the fittings, I'm sorry, with the fittings too. I mean, they're just bigger all around. I mean, this is a good, 1/4 inch. But the bore is the same. I mean, the Harbor Freight one does appear to have more metal going around the lip here than this one. So that's the only thing. With the Milton, you get the kit of 15, which is enough to do a line from your manifold with the tool. So like on mine, I have a 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch or a 1/4 inch pipe thread coming off. So this coupler here would go into my manifold, and then on the end of my hose, I would put that there. And then on the other end of my hose, where the tools would go. And then from there, I would have my tool. So as you can see from Milton, I get enough to do manifold, hose, 3 tools, 15 bucks. Harbor Freight, and you kind of don't get that. You get the 3 fittings, or 2 fittings. These would go into a tool, and this would basically do an airline. So this would connect somewhere off a manifold somehow. Or I'm sorry, this would be the end of your hose that would have to connect into a manifold somehow. This would be the other end of your hose, and then you would have your 2 tools. So I'm not sure how they're expecting you to hook into a manifold. Maybe you get a, just an adapter that allows your hose to plug right in. I'll show you what I bought. This is what I bought for the end of the hose, 3/8 to 3/8 inch, adapter. So what I would have to do is this would go into my manifold, and then I would have to somehow, I guess I'd have to decide whether or not I want to cut my hose and put it on top of that. But if you see, the bore on this really isn't as big. See, the bore on that really isn't as big as, so you're going to lose something if you go with this. It's still going to be much better than the 1/4 inch, but it's not going to give you the super high flow that you can get with the Milton set. And I think that's a significant advantage. You come off, like I have a 3/4 inch black pipe manifold going around my garage, and then I come to a T with, with a bushing that takes it down to a 1/4 inch, and then that's it. There's my hose. I have a hose fitting, and then this goes on my hose. The hose is 3/8 inch hose, has 3/8 inch male on each end. That puts you in, and then I have my tools, and I can plug my tools in right there. So I'm done. With the Harbor Freight one, I have to buy at least one more set to get an adapter, to get another coupler, but then the coupler I need to put a small little nipple on, because they don't sell couplers with male fittings. They only sell the female fittings, because they basically, you can only do a hose. So that's kind of the drawback, is you need to buy 2 of these, 15 bucks to kind of get a hose going, but then your hose is going to be backwards. It just doesn't seem, like a good enough deal. Whereas with the Milton ones, I'm happy right out the box, 15 bucks. I can start playing with tools. Here, I got to go back and buy more parts and try to make it. Harbor Freight does not sell these individually. So every time you want to hook up, if I had 2 tools hooked up and I want to do a third, guess what? 7 bucks. And then I get the same amount of couplers and fittings. With Milton, I can go online. I could just buy the fitting. I could buy the coupler. I could buy the male coupler or the female. It all depends. These are like $5 and these are like $2 if I order them off of Amazon. So you can really just add as you go, whereas with the Harbor Freight, every time you turn around, it's going to pop you 7 bucks. All in all, I'm happy with both. This one here, I'm probably going to rig up on my sandblaster, because the sandblaster's static. It just doesn't move. If I do move it, it's very rare. This I'll probably hook up with air tools to, just take advantage of this slip fit connection. That's kind of neat. Just push it in. Oop, no, it doesn't want to do it. Make a layer out of me. There you go. Well, before they were popping right in. And then with the color coding, I know exactly what line I'm plugging into with each tool. So that's my review. I guess I'm probably going to stay with these, just because the biggest benefit is I can buy these individually. So if I hook up 3 air tools or 2 air tools and I need to buy 2 more, it's like $4, and then I'm done. Whereas with this, I get parts that I just can't use. It's 7 bucks. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right in the long run. And you can also order these in like 15, and I know they sell a 15-piece kit, which you get more couplers and more fittings. I think they actually sell a 30-piece kit, and then they also sell these. If you buy them in bulk, you can buy 20 fittings for like $20. They get really, really cheap. These never really come in bulk. They're always going to cost you $5 no matter what you do. $5 or $6. That's the price I got them off of Amazon. But like I said, I'm happy with it. So I'm going to hook up a hose and then try some tools just to make sure it works. And that's my review.